Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to today's episode of Modesty's Morning Masterclass. This is episode number 49, and this is a continuation of this series we started last week, where we are discussing the financial management lessons for the young and the singles. And last week we started off with the first two, and today we're going to tackle the next two on this series as well, discussing what's actually the young people and the singles need to learn about financial management to help them attain financial independence as early as possible in their lives and their lifetime. And what's a time and what a beautiful coincidence for this to coincide with a time that there is a serious movement championed by the young people in my home country, Nigeria, who are calling for an end to police brutality, for an end to police manhandling of people, to an end to injustice, to an end to bad governance, and to an end to everything that governance is not meant to be. And so coincidentally at this time, we are talking about what the young people and what the single ones need to learn about financial management before life gets more serious. Trust me, because it gets more serious the older you become. Okay? So now that you are still at that leisure stage, now that you're still at that stage where there's some kind of liberality around what you do and how you do your things, we just need to give you these tips and these guides to help you guide you through the rigorous ways of life as far as financial management is concerned. And that's what I'm dedicating these few weeks and this series to, because I don't want to leave anybody behind in my push for everyone to get financially independent. So the knowledge, the expertise, and the experience that I have, I'm happy to share with people across all levels of life, all sectors, all sexes, all facets of life. And that's why I'm focusing more on the young and the singles for this series. And please, I hope that you will pay attention and that this will become useful to you. All right, I remain your man, Ikenna Umezudike, and I'm here again to do what we do every Monday, coming here to educate ourselves and help ourselves and empower ourselves through knowledge, information, and education, so that your relationship with money can be improved. That is the whole essence of what we do every Monday. So diving straight into what we're talking about today, and continuing from where we stopped last week. Last week we mentioned the first lesson was not to despise your mistakes, where we highlighted that mistakes are part of life, and we should, instead of beating ourselves up for our mistakes, use those mistakes as a stepping stone to better our lives and our future. As young people, we identify that young people are very prone to making mistakes, but those mistakes shouldn't be an excuse to write yourself off, because they could potentially be your biggest teacher. We talked about saving, starting to save early as a young person, and we mentioned the advantages of starting to save early, and that those savings could now usher you into a very fine, sustainable habit of having to set aside some money for some specific projects, being more financially disciplined, and that is the basis and the foundation for financial independence. And we mentioned that no wealthy person made it in life financially independent without having to start with savings. So today, at number 3, we're going to be talking about another very, very vital and crucial element of what young people and the singles need to learn on their way to attaining financial independence, and that is goal setting. So number 3 today will be set immediate, medium-term, and long-term goals. As a young person, as somebody who is single and young at the same time, it's very, very vital and very crucial that you set goals, immediate goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. These are things that will help guide you through this journey onto financial independence. You see, one of the things that are not given the necessary attention at a very young age, at an early stage of your life, is goal setting, or when you are single. It's very easy to, forget about goal setting. It's very easy to overlook goal setting at a young age, at an age when you are still single. You know why? Because at that stage and at that age, you still think, you know what, there's still time. There's still time. No rush. Why would I want to look, beyond now and start looking at 10, 20 years from now? Come on, life is there for the living. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. You don't have to get to that bridge to cross it. You've got to work out how to cross that bridge before you get there. Because if that bridge is old and cranky and wonky, you've got to devise a strategy before you get to that bridge. Because maybe by the time you get to that bridge, a lot of things have changed. And if you needed, let's say, if you needed a canoe to cross the river because the bridge is no longer fit for purpose, and you did not plan to get a canoe before you get there, when you get to that bridge, you get stuck. And there is no way to move out. You cannot wriggle yourself out of that situation anymore. So the thought that there is still time, is always very deceptive at a very young an early stage of life. And trust me, we have all been there. And we have been in that situation where we've always thought that there is time. There is no need for the planning. Hey, I'm still very young in my career. I'm still very young in my career. So let me enjoy this small money I'm making now and make life. Maybe when I start making more money, I can start thinking and planning. No. When you cannot plan on that small income at that early stage, you cannot plan when the income starts growing. If you don't have goals, even if you're a student, you must have to set your immediate, medium-term, and long-term goals. If you get into, say, you are in a university and a new session starts, if you don't decide what you want out of that session from the moment it starts, you will struggle. Because you find it difficult to actually know which one to focus on, how to structure your reading life, how to balance your social life with your educational life, what time are you apportioning to study. These things apply to financial lives as well. How much do I need to be able, assuming I want to get married, when do I even want to get married? At what age do I want to get married? How much do I need to have in my bank account to be financially secure enough to know that I can look after myself and after my wife, that I can look after myself and and after my family by the time I get married? How much is my wedding gonna cost me? What's my budget for that wedding? How much do I need to put aside and to save towards that wedding if I want to get married? Okay, I'm a career person. Where do I need to be in 5 years of my career? Do I need to be in a managerial position? Do I need to be in an executive position? Do I need to be at a top level? What do I need to do to get there? Do I have to take some professional exams to get there? If I need to take some professional exams to get there, how long do I need to prepare for this exam? How much do I need to save to be able to buy the form and get for it? These are what goals do for you. Because when you're saying there is time, before you know it, the 5 years you are talking about is already upon you. And because you did not set those goals early enough, the 5 years comes upon you, you become confused. You look back and you've wasted 5 years. And then you procrastinate again that, okay, let's see what the next 5 years. If you don't have clear-cut goals that will, channel you properly into the right path, you will struggle. So the only way to get rid of those procrastinating mindsets, the only way to get rid of that procrastination is by setting clear-cut periodic goals. And then not just setting those clear-cut goals, but breaking them down into small, achievable daily activities that you can track. If you don't break those goals down into those small, daily, achievable activities that you can track, those goals could become too big and you can even become so dissuaded. But the moment you say, all right, this year, okay, I need to have at least £20,000 in my account between now and 3 years' time to make me comfortable enough to think of maybe getting married. Okay, I am so age at this time and I need to get married by the time I am this age. Say I am 25 now and I need to get married by the time I'm 30. So I have 5 years to work towards that. How much do I need to save up for that 5 years? How much do I need to be in my bank account for that 5 years? You work it out. And then you break that amount from 5 years to 1 year. If I need £30,000 in 5 years, it means I need £6,000 in 1 year. And if I need £6,000 in 1 year, it means I need £500 every month to set aside and to be, say in my savings or to have that somewhere else. And if I need £500 in 1 month, and if I work on the basis of 4 weeks in a month, for example, and I'll say, okay, I need £125 every week. So I need to be £125 richer every week so that I can hit £30,000 in 5 years' time. Can you see how breaking that down into very small, achievable pieces makes a lot of sense and makes it a lot easier for you? And then £125 every week, how many days are there in a week? Okay, I work 5 days a week, for example. It comes down to £25 every day. So I need to be sure that I am £25 richer every day so that in 5 years' time, I'll be £30 in liquid cash richer. And then I can do the things I want to do with that. I want to get married. I want to get my own apartment, and down to even getting your own apartment, down to getting your own home. Maybe you're living with parents or you're squatting with someone and you're saying to yourself, I need to be out of this situation in the next 3 years. How much do I need? How hard do I need to work? By the time you look at what you have and you realize, oh, I'm short of the amount I need by this much, so I need to put in extra effort and do this. This is what I need to do every day. So I've been able to break £30,000 in 5 years down to £25 a day so that I can achieve what I want to achieve in the next 5 years. So it's not just about setting those lofty high goals. It's about achieving them. And to achieve them, break them down into small achievable steps so that you can celebrate every small milestone. Because every little milestone you celebrate kicks you up for the next one. It kind of stirs the spirit in you and gives you that tonic, that energy you need to say, yes, this is achievable. So you see, there is this funny thing that corporations do, and when they advertise certain things on TV. For example, if they want to advertise life insurance for you, they will tell you that this life insurance is going to cost you 80p per day. And then you break 80p per day into 30 days, for example, that's £24 a month. £24 multiplied by 12 will give you £288, I think, yeah, £288 a year. But look at that. Instead of the advert to say this insurance will cost you £288 a year, they will tell you it costs you 80p per day, because then it makes it more achievable for you. And you say, what? 80p per day and I can get a life insurance and this insurance? That's all you're thinking about, because that's what the figure says. That's what the graphic says on the TV. So you just think about 80p per day. You're not even thinking about the £288 a year. That's the way to break things down and make them look achievable. Make them achievable for you, because those small steps and those small strides gradually build up into something significant. Significant enough to spur you on for the rest of your life. So when you're young, or whether you're single, you've got time advantage. It then means that you can review your goals more regularly. If the goals are not going exactly the way you plan them, if life happens to be derailing you from what you plan, because we're not ignorant of the fact that life does happen. Things could turn out not exactly the way you've planned them. But that's where the advantage of being young comes in, because you have the advantage of time. You can regularly review your goals according to the reality of your circumstances, but still eyes on the ball. So rather than using that time as an excuse for procrastination, use that time as a tool to reorganize yourself and reroute your activities, still aiming to achieve the same thing. Maybe you may have to put off some few things away. You may have to shift some goals further away to achieve the immediate ones. There is nothing wrong in something more urgent taking place of an already existing immediate goal. Okay, your immediate goal might have been to move into your own apartment in the next 1 or 2 years, and you're already working towards that. And then suddenly something shorter comes in. Maybe a family member becomes ill, maybe mom becomes ill, or dad becomes ill, or sister puts to bed and needs help and all that. You can look at that and review those goals again and say, okay, my immediate goal right now is basically to help my parents be in a better health situation. And this is what I need to do for them to get them into that proper health situation. And once I get that out of the way, I can focus back on my goal of moving into my own apartment because I need my privacy. I'm planning to get married. So that is the advantage you have as a young person, that you can reroute these things. You can reject them. You can review them because you've got time. So rather than using the time you have as an excuse to put things away and not even bother about them, use that time as an advantage to your own advantage, as a tool to be able to review things and put things. You can reprioritize. All right, depending on the reality of situations, because we all know that life happens. So without goals, it is very impossible to measure your progress and know where you are in the journey to your financial destination. Goals provide you with a yardstick of measuring how far you have come, how far away you are from where you are heading to. Your goals gives you the tool required to hold yourself to account, to say really and truly, this is where I am. Whatever you can measure, you can manage. If you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. And goals help you to measure how far you are from what you are aspiring to achieve. But if you don't have those goals, you cannot measure them. You cannot measure your progress. You don't know how far away you are. You don't know how close you are to it. Sometimes you can even surpass your goals because you are able to measure them, because they have provided you with a yardstick of saying, this is where I need to be in this time. So when you look back and you review those goals, you see that you have either surpassed them, or you are very close to meeting them, or you are too far off. Then you begin to take steps to close the gap again. But in the absence of goals, there is nothing to measure. There is no way to measure that progress. So if you see a young person who is goal-oriented, they have more drive in them. They are more driven. They are more focused. And their achievements are a lot more than others who just live their lives just the way it is. A young person who is driven by goals sets a goal for himself by what time he looks to achieve something. For example, this person might be working but doesn't have a car, and this person thinks, if I actually own a car, it will help me generate more income. It might be somebody who is in the marketing profession. and he or she understands that mobility will help their marketing profession. And they'll be thinking, if I've got my own car, I'll be more in control of how long it takes me to get from one appointment to the other. I will not be reliant on public transport. I will not be reliant on other people to get me from point A to point B. So maybe to do this, I will need to arrange to get a car that will serve me that purpose. And I need to do this within 1 year. So they set themselves a goal, or a very, that becomes their immediate and their short-term goal, to become mobile in 12 months. And then they start working, and they know, okay, whatever car is basic and can get me where I'm going to, I'm not looking for something flashy. I just need to be able to get from point A to point B. And then they start working towards that. They already know how much they need to have in their bank in the next 12 months to be able to afford a car that can take them from point A to point B, because that car is critical to their ongoing journey, or to their onward journey towards financial independence, not just for luxury, not just for flexing. And then that's immediate goal they have set. Every month they look at what they have been able to achieve and say, how far away am I from this goal? So that every morning this person has something to, move him out of bed. To say, I'm getting out of bed now because I need to be sure I've got this car in my driveway in 12 months' time, so that I don't have to face the frustration of being late to appointments, of not being able to get to where I want to get to when I want to get there, of not being able to be in control of my time and my appointments because I have to factor in traffic and all the rest of them. That might be the immediate goal. So that's the immediate goal, and then the long-term goal will be something else. So if you don't have this kind of mindset, I don't have these kinds of goals clearly stated, your level of motivation will be low, and even if you have any motivation, it won't be as high as that of someone who's got these goals. Young people with goals are driven, and they are motivated, and they achieve a lot more. But listen, it takes a great deal of discipline, a great level of discipline to set goals, and even more level of discipline to follow those goals religiously, because it's a vital element of your financial success. I cannot think of anyone who's been financially successful without having set goals in their lives, where they have to be, at what point they have to be there. And they follow those goals religiously because they know it's very, very vital. It is the sat-nav. It is the compass of their journey. It is what guides them. It's what directs them. It's what tells them what route to follow. They dare not deviate from it unless on extraordinary circumstances. So setting daily, weekly, monthly, annual, and even lifetime goals are very important. These are very important periods of your lifetime. But now, this is what you need to do. You start from the macro, and then you narrow it down to the very micro element of these goals we are talking about. And when I talk about macro, I'm talking about lifetime goals. I did a session at the beginning of the year on goal setting. You might do well to go and search out that session on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel, where I discuss goal setting. It's worth the watch, because I broke it down in several series, and it took me several weeks to really break down goal setting and practical steps. So that session I did on goal setting, which is on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, just search Ikenna Omezdik on YouTube. You see my YouTube channel and go to the session where I discussed goal setting and watch that. If you start from the macro and you begin to narrow it down, your goal begins to make sense to you. Okay? And in that macro, it takes you through different areas of your life. It takes you through your career, takes you through your financial goals, takes you through your health goals, it takes you through your social and social life, social goals. So basically, you start from lifetime goals. What exactly do I want my life to be like? You start from picturing and visualizing what you want your life to be like. What are the things that makes life worth living for you? What would you say would be your dream situation? Some people look at their lives and they say, I care a lot about the less privileged. I would love to be in a position to help people that haven't got homes. I would love to put roof on people's head. It breaks my heart when I see people sleep on the streets. I would love that. Becomes your lifetime goal. Okay? It becomes one of your lifetime goals, for example. And then from there, that becomes your passion. You then ask yourself, if I want to really do this, what do I need to do to be in that position where I can influence lives of the homeless positively? And then you begin to think, okay, maybe as somebody who is working for someone, I may not be able to achieve this as an employee. Maybe I'll have to work towards owning my own business so that I can influence lives of people the way I want to influence them. And then you start saying, okay, I want to be self-employed, first of all. And then I want to be self-employed in this area that I'm specialist in. So let me give my career another 5 years, and then I'll set up my own business to run this. You can see how this is beginning to shape up. So your goal now becomes, okay, I want to be self-employed in my area of specialization in the next 5 years, so that I can make enough money to be able to influence people's lives positively. And how much exactly do I need to start this business when I want to start it? Even if I don't have enough money, can I convince people to invest in my idea, in my expertise, in my skills, and just be in control so that I can control my time and my resources and be able to channel those resources towards helping people? Now you've got something to wake up for every morning. First of all, you are driven by your lifetime goal of helping the poor and the less privileged and the homeless. And then secondly, you've worked out that you would like to be in charge and in control of your time and resources to be able to achieve this, because your current status will not allow you to achieve it. And now you've worked out how long you need to give yourself to gain enough experience, expertise, connections, and network and capital to be able to go it on your own. That goal now becomes a 5-year goal, because that 5-year goal links into your lifetime goal. And then within that 5 years, everything you are looking to do, all the qualifications you are looking to achieve, all the professional exams you are looking to take, everything is gearing into becoming self-employed so that you can be in control of your time and resources. I'm only using that self-employed as an example. I am not saying that that's the only way you can gain enough time and resources. You can still be influential even if you're not self-employed. But the key thing here is that you've got a lifetime goal. That's where it starts. And that lifetime goal now drives you down to the very micro thing that you need to be doing every single day. Or you want to say, I visualize myself playing with my grandchildren, running around with my grandchildren in an open space. I need to have enough energy to be able to do that. The way I am now, I'm not even fit. So let me get on my fitness activities so that in the next 20, 30 years, I want to be with my grandchildren fit and healthy. And then you say, okay, every single day I'm going to walk for 5 kilometers and I'm going to get strong. Every single day I'm going to run for 4, 5, 10 kilometers so I can keep fit. I do not want to be a granny that does not have the strength to keep up with his or her grandchildren, because that's your grand goal. That's your lifetime goal. So every single day you get out there, you are keeping fit because you want to be fit for your grandchildren. because you want to be fit for your generation to come. Because you know that in 20, 30 years' time, that goal will remain the same, to be healthy, even in your old age. To be strong, even in your old age. I do not want to be a liability. I don't want to end up in a hospital. I want to be strong till my last breath. The journey will start from now. So you can see how your lifetime goals feed into your immediate activity. So you now break it down to, okay, every single day I need to be walking this much, I need to be running this much, I need to be spending this much time in the gym on fitness programs so that I can lose this much weight, or so that I can gain this much energy. And then your daily activities are now inspired by your lifetime goals. So what goals do is that they give you a sense of direction early enough in life. When you start setting those goals at this young and single stage of your life, it gives you a sense of direction. Your goals can even shape your marital life, because your goals might even influence who your spouse is going to be. Because obviously, it gives you something to look out for in someone who's going to support those goals. Somebody you can share those goals with, and they can buy into those goals, and they are very supportive. You might want to be an author. I want to write books. I think there is a lot in me I want to share with the world, but the best way I can share it is by writing. I love writing. And it might even influence the person who you spend the rest of your life with, because it has to be somebody who is in line with your goals and who agrees with where you're going to. If you come across someone who says, author, what's that? I mean, how much do authors make? You want to spend the rest of your life writing and believing and, hoping that your book makes it as a bestseller, and then you begin to live that kind of life that you want to live? You really want to spend your lifetime doing that? So obviously, this person doesn't buy into your goal, doesn't buy into your lifetime goals. So it might give you a clue to say, look, I don't think this is a perfect fit for me. So goals have a way of opening up a lot of branches in your life that gives you a clearer perspective of where you are going to and how you are going to get there. Your goals can shape your marital life, like we said, and even shape your marital choices. There is nothing worse than waking up and not knowing why you are awake and why you are alive. You don't even know what to do. You don't know what you're doing. I don't even know why you're doing what you're doing. Simply because you lack goals. Simply because your goals are not clear enough. So the goals you set hold you accountable, and it will help others to hold you accountable if you share those goals with them. So do not be afraid to share your goals with people that are close enough to you, and tell them that this is what I want to do. Maybe your spouse, your family, and then those people you shared your goals with can hold you account to what you said you want to do. So that when you are derailing from that, they say, look, you said this is what you wanted to achieve. Is this part of it, or are you now derailing? Okay, so that's what goals do for you. Start setting goals early enough in life, and as a single and as a young person, it will help clear the pathway for you, and you have a clear direction of where you're going to. Now, the next thing I want to talk about what you need as a young and single person to get to your financial destination. Number 4 is to get a mentor or a coach, or a mentor and a coach. Now, in my own description and from what I know about mentoring and coaching, I would like to differentiate a little bit between these two things so that you know what you need and whether you need them or whether you need both of them. Hi, Victoria, good afternoon. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, you see, a mentor has the experience. A coach has the knowledge. Yeah, a mentor has the experience. A coach has the knowledge. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who are both mentors and coaches. There are people who are both mentors and coaches. Yeah? Because they've got the experience and they've got the knowledge. But there are people who are just mentors, but they are not coaches. Who are just coaches, but they are not mentors. But I'm trying to differentiate this for you so that you understand the difference between the two. Because people do mix them up a lot and a lot of times. So a mentor has the experience, but a coach is knowledge filled, has the knowledge. And some people might argue that after all, experience is knowledge as well. To some extent, yes. But having experience does not always translate into the ability of transferring that experience, translating it into a knowledge to be able to impart it to people. Okay? Now, a mentor will walk you through the experience, but a coach will impart the knowledge and transfer that knowledge into you. Coaches are very good in transferring knowledge into people. But a mentor is more of a practical person. Somebody who has been through a particular path and then can now walk you through that experience and can see life from the prism of their own experience. Because before you get to that stage, they already know that you're getting there and they've been there before you. So they almost like follow in my footsteps. They will now walk you through that experience. But a coach will impart knowledge into you and transfer that knowledge to you. So what a coach does is that a coach will teach, yeah, but a mentor will guide, right? A coach will teach you things. Take for instance, I'm a football person. I like using football to make examples. A football coach, for example, there are so many football coaches who have never played the game. They've never been footballers in their lives. They've never played competitive football. But they are brilliant coaches because they know how the game should be played and they have a very good knowledge of the game. And all they need to do is to get players around and be able to transfer their perception of the game into the brain, into the mentality of those players and get them on the pitch and they'll get results. But they've never played competitive football. They may never even have won a trophy as players in their lives. But they have the mental capacity and ability to perceive a game, see a picture, and be able to transfer that knowledge and impart it into their players and set them onto the pitch, and they perform wonderfully well. A mentor cannot do that. Because if you're a footballer and you need a mentor will do a different thing for you than what a coach will do for you. So a coach teaches, but a mentor guides. A coach equips you with information on how to navigate through things, but a mentor will hold your hand through that process and through the journey. So if you come across a coach, what they will do is that they will give you every information required to go through this particular process. All right? Again, I'm gonna use football for example. A coach will give you every information you need, maybe about an opponent. I say, look, we are playing against these opponents, and they play a high line of defense. What we need to do is to be able to counter them with a long ball over their defense and get the striker to run behind the defenders. Information. And then an approach. So they will equip you with the information. What the coach won't do is to get in on that pitch and show you how to run across that defense. It is now down to your skill as a footballer to be able to apply that information, that knowledge on the football field to translate it to results. So a coach will teach you how to avoid mistakes that others have made. But a mentor would allow you make the mistakes on your own and then learn from it, or allow you learn from his own mistakes and tell you how he overcame his own mistakes. Thank you, Adedayo. Thank you. So what that coaching does for you is that it will expose other people's mistakes for you. For example, in financial coaching, for example, a financial coach will tell you that people who do not save from early enough in life, they end up very poor. Based on their knowledge and their study of, savings and people's lives, of how they navigated through that. That is the information that the coach will impart in you and say, listen, if you do this, you will end up like this person. If you don't do this, you will not end up like this person. Based on our research, these are the implications of these actions if you take them. If you save, you build wealth and then you get rich. If you do not save, there is no basis for building wealth. A financial coach will tell you the implications of that. If you come across a mentor and you say, please, I need to be mentored on financial management, a mentor can, say to you, okay, tell me, what did you do with your money last month? You got paid last month, right? Said, yeah, what did you do with it? Give me a breakdown of what you did with your funds. And then you tell the mentor what you did with your funds, and you paid a few bills, you went partying, you paid for your car finance. Say, let me have your bank statement. He looks at his bank statement. Say, okay, when are you getting paid next? You can say, yes, I'm getting paid on 27th again. I say, okay, let's talk again on by the 27th of the upper month. All right, let me see what you do. It can allow you to make the mistakes, and then you come back and say, can you see why you are running out of money? Because you did this and you did that. When I was your age, I did the same thing. But do you know how I overcame that? I overcame it by doing this and by doing that. Because at your age, I know you can do things like that. But there's nothing wrong with that. Because that was the same thing I did at your age. But do you know where I turned things around? Because I realized that mistake and I sought help. And I got help. And by the time I turned 30, I was already running 2 businesses. Because I turned it. You can see the impact that mentor's story and their style is having on you. Because the mentor's story is real. And because the mentor's guidance is based on their personal experiences. And they are now telling you what they were able to achieve at a certain age by applying certain principles. So you contrast that with what the coach has done for you. The coach has told you what you need to do. But the mentor is telling you what they didn't do and what they did at your age. And then they're now telling you that this is how we overcame it. Right? Now, the mentor is the one that now teaches you to avoid the mistakes that others have made. But listen, not everyone needs a mentor, and not everyone needs a coach. But some people need both. And that's the reason I'm breaking these differences down, so that you'll be asking yourself a few questions. Where do I fall? Where do I find myself? What do I need, a coach or a mentor or both? Now listen to this. Your ability to identify your strengths, your personality, the things you dislike, your skills, and your needs. These things are the things that will help you identify whether you need a coach or you need a mentor. Your ability to identify your strength, your personalities, your abilities, your skills, and your needs. These things are the things that help you decide whether you need a mentor or a coach. So if you are the type that requires minimal supervision, you might just be okay with a coach. If you don't need that much supervision, you don't need that much holding of a hand to do things, maybe all you need is just somebody to give me this information. Just equip me with information and leave the rest for me, and I can deal with the rest. Maybe you're a little bit sophisticated to an extent, maybe financially. You have some kind of knowledge about how the market works and how investing works. You have some kind of mental ability to calculate and run calculations and do things and run percentages and know what to do to get to a particular destination. Maybe you need minimal supervision financially. So all you need then is just knowledge, information. Tell me what I need to do. Leave me to it and I'll be able to do that. So that might be an indication to you that you just need a coach. You don't need a mentor. But if you need somebody to hold your hands, if you need, if you've acquired the necessary information and knowledge, right? But you need somebody to hold your hands, to guide you through the practical steps of doing that. Yes, I've got this information, I've got the knowledge, but I need someone to practically guide me through this. Then you might be thinking of needing a mentor. Because then what you need is somebody to inspire you with their own personal story, to take you through their personal journeys. Some mentors will even share their bank accounts with you. They will share their budgeting skills, their budgeting plans with you. They will share their investment platforms with you to say to you, this is how I invest. This is where I invest. This is how much I'm making from this investment. These are the mistakes I made when I was investing. In this week, I didn't make that much money. In this year, I didn't make that much money. Oh, I put the wrong foot on this investment and it cost me this money. The mentor takes you through their life journeys. You are on the same journey with them. So they allow you mirror them. And where they know that they have made mistakes, they will not allow you make those same mistakes, because that's what they are there to do, to help guide you through those rough patches. And that's why sometimes they will allow you make your own mistakes, because they know that you can learn faster by making mistakes. But if you're a complete novice in financial matters, if you don't know your left from your right financially, you might need both a mentor and a coach. Because then you need someone to impart that knowledge into you. You need someone to teach you the basics of finance and financial management. You need someone to equip you with information. And while you've grabbed that, because you're still a complete novice, you might still need a mentor who will now talk you through their own process and how they've done things. There are lots of coaches who have the knowledge, but the knowledge is all they have because they are equipped with researches. Yeah, they can make researches, they can teach you things, they can talk you through things, but they've not actually done that thing. There's nothing wrong with that, because a coach doesn't have to be able to have done every single thing. But having the knowledge is good enough. And as long as they can impart that knowledge rightly, and they maintain their status as a very good coach, and they derive joy in you achieving results based on the information and the knowledge they've imparted in you, that's fantastic. Because, for example, say an athlete, for example, somebody like Usain Bolt, he's got a coach, and that coach cannot run as fast as Usain Bolt. But the coach can show Usain Bolt and teach him things that he needs to do to be able to achieve the extraordinary results he needs to achieve on the track and field. He doesn't need to be as fast as Bolt, but he's got the knowledge on, listen, if you're running, this is what your body position needs to be like. Your dieting needs to contain this and not contain that. You need to wake up at this time of the morning, and this is the best time for you to train, and this is the time for you to relax, and this is how many hours sleep I need you to get, and what your athletic clothes needs to be of this quality, down to the finest detail. The coach will give him that information. Now, Usain Bolt will work with that information and work with the coach and go out there and achieve that result and get the world record. He will be the one on that platform, on that podium, receiving the medal, not the coach. The coach will receive the applaud because the coach gets paid as well. So don't let anybody deceive you into saying that don't let anybody who hasn't done this thing coach you. No. Like I mentioned before, there are coaches in football who have never kicked a ball, but they are brilliant coaches. Do not despise information from people simply because you think they haven't done what they're asking you to do. If that information and that knowledge is useful to you, grab it, use it, run with it. That's what those people are meant to do. They impart knowledge. Whatever your basis of assessment of who they are is irrelevant. Is the information relevant to you? Yes. Is it useful to you? Yes. If you apply to really achieve your aim? Yes. That is your coach. Listen to your coach. Some financial coaches are poorer than the people they have coached. And they are not ashamed because they've done their job. Their job is, okay, yes, you want to get this information. I'm going to give you this information. Some financial advisors are poorer than the people they advise. It doesn't mean that those financial advisors have poor investment skills. Everybody have got their own abilities and what they've got to do. So I laugh when people come and say, no, why would I listen to this person? Why would I take him as a coach? Why would I listen to what he's got to say when I'm even better than him, what I can do? Is the information relevant to you? Yes, use it. Because the coach is meant to do the job of a coach. So if coaches and mentors are there, they are priceless to young people. At this young stage, when I'm focusing on young people, at a young stage, at the stage you are very, very vulnerable. So coaches and mentors are very, very vital to young people at their stage of their lives. So you might be a married young person, you might be an unmarried young person, you might be just, too young to even begin to think of marriage, but it doesn't matter. At a young stage of your life, you need a coach and a mentor. Now, young and single people, especially, who had financial coaches, they do exceedingly better than those who have none. If you look at the lives of young and single people who had financial coaches and mentors early enough in their lives, they perform exceedingly better than those who have none. But the only thing you just need to do is do not settle for anyone just because they said they can coach, or based on what they've said to you. Check out their qualifications, check out their backgrounds, check out their achievements as well, and then you begin to draw inspiration from that. I have benefited from mentoring. Some of my mentors are people who I have not even met, but online I have benefited from their teachings, their direction, their directives, and it's made an enormous difference in my life. I have said it time and time here that I decided to start running every morning and doing my fitness, not because some people thought it was because my wife was into fitness. That was what inspired. No, my wife was part of the inspiration, quite all right. But let me tell you the biggest inspiration why I decided to be running every morning and keeping fit. Because one of my online mentors, in one of his podcasts, one day told us how fitness and business are linked. That your business success is linked in a lot of ways to your fitness. At first, I didn't realize that. But when he broke it down about what impact your physical fitness has on your mental ability, I began to see sense in that. And I started practicing it. Every morning I run early in the morning before I go to work. And when I come into the office, I feel mentally alert. I don't feel tired anymore. I can take on tasks for the rest of the day. That is why I run every morning. Because it gives me that mental alertness. It keeps me, the energy level running and up and high. And I can walk throughout the day without feeling tired. But before I started that routine, I used to experience tiredness at some point when I come to the office to work, and it affected my productivity. But now I can see through tasks. and not get tired. So folks, it's very, very important that you get coaches and mentors around you who will help you through your financial journey, especially as a young person. Look up to someone and study what the person has done. You may not even need to meet your mentor face to face. You can pick someone who you admire in the business world and study what they've done. You can pick their books and start reading their books. If they have a channel like a podcast or YouTube, just start watching their videos on YouTube. That's mentoring. That's the impact it's having on you, because you are going through things that they have gone through and you are learning things that they have done the way they have done it. And it makes a lot of difference in your life. I had a young business man in Nigeria call me some time ago and said, he wanted me to mentor him through business. He shared his business experience with me, and I gave him a few tips on what to do. And then he came back a couple of months later, I think it was last week I spoke to him again, and he was telling me the impact those tips are having on his business and what steps he's now making to expand the business. He was very, very thankful for the conversation we had a couple of months ago, and he said they are making an enormous difference in his business life and his personal life. So he shared his next step with me, and we went through those steps together, and I told him where those steps were not going to be beneficial and how we need to remodel and remodify those steps so that it becomes more beneficial to him. We even talked about, rebranding the business to encompass even his future dreams, and then how he needs to access and, take advantage of the social media platform. And we discussed all that. And he ended that call on a very, very happy note. And he said, I'm going to just go away and implement these things that you've told me. Thank you so very much. And it gladdens my heart that people are willing to listen and they are willing to take, things into consideration. And as much as possible, I am available to help. But listen, coaching and mentoring might cost you money, but they are well worth the money you spend on them. If somebody says that for me to coach you, you need to pay me. For me to mentor, you need to pay me. Yes, it's going to cost you money. If that's what you've got to do, do it. As long as you're getting value for money, don't just go and hand your money over to somebody because they said you should pay them for coaching. And then you come back and moan and say, Ken, I said you should pay every coach and every mentor. No, like I said, check out their backgrounds, check out their qualifications, check out their achievements, see who you are following and make sure that it's worth the value. But then we still offer this education free of charge every Monday here because we just want to give back. So if you're still content with what we do here, keep listening. Every Monday we come here, we talk about things that will be useful to you in your financial journey. But if you need more than what you're getting from us here, please try and get a financial coach or mentor through your financial life. Your journey will be a lot smoother and a lot quicker towards financial independence. So once again, thank you so much for being part of today, and I appreciate your kind words. Thank you very much, Adedayo, for your kind words, and thank you so much for being part of today's program, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. But before then, on Wednesday, we're coming back here to talk about mortgages and properties and the things that we need to know about mortgages and properties. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you and hearing from you again. And please do not forget to share this video. Do not forget to give us your comment. Do not forget to give us your feedback on what you think. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We continue to update that YouTube channel and to add content to that YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, give us comment, thumbs up, anything. Just let us know how you feel, because that's what we thrive on. So God bless you. Stay safe and stay blessed. Bye now.